Hey everyone, this is me, Michelle here. This time I'm alone. Um, Steven is not here right now. He's not here today. I am gonna do my makeup. Well, I'll tell you a scary incident that happened to us. Story time. Okay, so many of you were asking about how I do my makeup, or how, even including they were asking my husband, how do I do it, what do I use and stuff. So yes, I'm gonna show you guys how I do my makeup. And I'm also doing this because tomorrow in the morning I have somewhere important that I need to be at, that I need to go. So I'm getting ready since tonight. But anyways, before I get started, like, subscribe so you can see more videos of us, and in the future we might even do some spooky challenges. So yes guys, anyways, before I start, shout out to my family. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you, Munchkin. You know who you are. My girl. You know who you are, mamas. To my friends, family, my husband's coworkers, thank you guys for supporting. It really means a lot. From the bottom of my heart, it really means a lot that you guys are supporting me. To my family members also, you guys are watching this. Love you guys so much. But anyways, let's get on to the video. Okay, before we start, I'm gonna tell you guys, ladies, even men, wash your face before you go to work and before you go to sleep. Wash your face. I already washed my face before applying my makeup. I wash my face. I don't with the soap that you have, facial soap that you have. And if you don't have a scrubber, face scrubber, use your fingers, your nails. Don't scrub hard. Do not. Do it gently, gently, as you can see. So I ate something I wasn't supposed to. And if you notice, when I eat stuff that I'm not supposed to, little tiny pimples start coming up. Rashes. But anyways, I'm trying to work with that. Wash your face, and then what I use, there are certain products I use. This was a cream I got, a facial cream I got from Sephora. I buy it at Sephora. It's not in this container. I put it here for travel purposes. But yes, I use a cream, not too much. A little goes a long way. You put a little bit here to moisturize your face. There we go. I don't use a lot. Hey.
What are you doing?
Makeup. Video. Why?
Motherfucker, you got an orientation in the fucking...
I have to wake up early.
And why did you freaking get ready to fucking sleep?
Huh?
Then why did you get ready to sleep?
Because I do my makeup and then I go to sleep.
Why the fuck did you make up at night?
because that's how I am.
You do you. You do you.
Thank you, brother-in-law. So, oh yes. So remember, guys, if you don't know, in the latest video, me and husband me and Steven went to the famous Black Swan Inn here in San Antonio. If you don't know about the Black Swan Inn, it used to be a plantation, milk, milk farm. But before that, it was a native area. It has a lot of history, a lot of story behind it. But yes, guys, um, the incident happened there. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it so you can know what I'm talking about. So, massage my face gently and around. So, anyways, we had gone to the Black Swan Inn. It's famous here in San Antonio, one of famous haunted locations. And we were filming, of course. And the thing that we like to do is film uncut videos for the purposes of we want to get everything. We want to, you know, witness everything and capture everything for evidence. And if you know us, we don't do, if you have seen our videos and know us, we are not, what do they call it? Professionals at editing. We don't know how to do the editing and none of that stuff. So, you know, you know. If you know, you know. We don't do that. So anyways, we were there for the ghost tour that they call it. They tell you about the house, they tell you about the history, and they show you around, and then you go off on your own for like about an hour or two doing your own little investigations, your own little ghost investigations. So, what I'm doing here is I soaked my sponge in lukewarm water with soap. You soak it after you soak the sponge and you let it sit for a few minutes, right? So, what happened was we went through the whole house, right? And when we were through the outside of the house, once we were inside, and they were telling us about the family that used to live there and what they used to do. I was filming. Everything was awesome. Everything was nice. You know, the house very antique, very pretty. They asked us to get up, you know, from our seats to travel along the other rooms. And as I was doing that, I felt a little tap on my shoulder, and I thought it was one of the other guests that was there in the tour with us. So I didn't really think anything of it. I thought it was, you know, a person behind me, so I wasn't gonna no. For some reason, I was I didn't pay attention. I like, oh, it's somebody behind me trying to get my attention or trying, so. And another thing, I thought it was Steven playing trick on me, tapping my shoulder because he was my left. And so we we set off. We started, walking around the house, getting the tour of everything that happens in the location, and we were just listening. Certain things happen. I don't know if oh, I think I didn't get on video, but an incident happened with a lady. Um, we do not know for sure if she was feeling sick or if she was experiencing something. I would really love to know, like if she was experiencing something. I do believe, some people have the ability to sense stuff, or it gets to them of what they felt. I do believe in that. Um, we were in the kitchen, not kitchen, dining area, and they have this big oval table and chairs around, a big mirror, and they have a haunted doll there. We were standing a few feet away from that haunted doll. If you see on the video, it's very dark. Um, very, very dark. So I wanted to like shine the light up, make light, but I didn't know if the guests were gonna be okay with that, or I should have asked. But yes, the lady, she's a young lady. She was one of the guests with her male, the male that was accompanying her, the guy. And midway, while the guides were explaining the situation, she blacked out or collapsed. Something happened, and she couldn't. They were trying to wake her up, but it didn't. She didn't, so they picked her up and took her outside. And we continued, which should have been one of the signs, right? A second sign, but we didn't. So, anyways, that's something else that happened. Um, I'm gonna do my brows. You see, I hardly have any brows. You notice the skin glowy. But yes, that happened. So we continued. We proceeded. Continue the tour. We don't want to miss anything. And then we set off to where, so the house, the entrance of the house, one of the houses here, we went all around the house inside and out, and then we went out and to the back where they have what used to be the milk barn. And then there, a lot of also situations happened, a lot of things happen, a lot of history, a lot of stories, a lot of stuff. And we were in the tour guides were talking about what was going on. I wasn't being in there, in that barn. I don't know. I felt a bit off, a bit tiny off. Something was like toying with me. I don't know. It felt so weird, so weird. But a strong person, strong woman. Um, no. Okay. Hold on. So that's what I don't like to do them super um nice or anything. I like to have them not symmetrical, um, because I want them to look as normal as possible. No, no. Okay, so my brother-in-law let the pugs out. I don't know if one pug ended up missing outside. I'm gonna check. Okay, you will check with me, cause if a pug comes in, we're good. Raccoon, anything else, I am dropping the phone and screaming. Who is that animal? Come on. Who is you? What is that? Come on. It's open. Hello? Hello? Hey. Brody, come on. It's Mr. Brody. Come here, Mr. Brody. Mr. Brody. 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 Scratches? Come on. It's one of the pugs. Guys, one of the pugs. He likes to be around where there's TV and stuff. So I have TV on. Oh, that was a scare. But anyways, where were we? Oh yes. So we were going around, we went around the premises of the plantation. Very pretty during the daytime, very ominous during the nighttime. In the dining room area, there's a closet that the owner back then, a few years ago, one of the owners did a shrine room. If you don't know what a shrine room is the darkened room, and they have a black mirror in front and a mirror in the back. Basically, two mirrors facing each other, and you are in between. And once you start seeing your face start deforming in the mirror, then you are gonna start seeing, you know, um, spirits and whatnot. We tried that. that's where, kind of at the end of the video, that's where we are. The thing is, that was happened as the the tour was ending. That's where we were. As the tour was ending, that's where we were. What I'm trying to say here is that we were there. We heard a whistle, and we automatically thought that the tour guides were calling everybody uh, to the front area because the tour was ending. The time was up. Now, we heard it with our ears. Me and Steven looked at each other and were like, oh, they're calling us. They're calling everybody to go and, you know, leave the area. Tour's ending. And you hear the whistle in the video. You do hear it. I don't know. We get out. We say our goodbyes to the camera. We say our goodbyes to the tour guides. We thank them. And we leave. Okay, there's the other brow. And we leave, right? Then we get to our place. We start reviewing the videos. And I'm going to be honest, guys, in the milk barn where Steven puts, are you okay? Why are you running? Okay. In the milk barn, Steven puts down the cat ball. The cat ball is one of the little balls. It lights up when it detects. If you move it around, it lights up. So he placed it down. I saw him place it down, turn around for a few seconds, and I thought it had turned off. When I saw it on, I like, oh my god, it turned on, but it's debunked. You clearly see it. I'm being honest. So, in the video, yes, I was in the shrine room, and I'm facing the mirror. You could hardly see my face in the mirror. You see my head. I'm trying hard to see myself in the mirror to see what happens, and we hear the whistle. Now, we got home, reviewed it, we're like, wait, we caught it on camera, which is so awesome. We messaged the guides, hey, I'm not trying to, not to be a bother, I know you guys are busy, busy people, and I know you guys have, I'm just asking, wondering if any if any of you whistled at any time at the end of the at the at the end of the thing when everybody was walking out. And they're like, they responded in the email saying no, not that we know of. We nor the guests that were with us whistled at that time. At that time, we never whistled. And that was kind of like surprising, but weird. I saw nothing of it. I'm like, could have been something else. But then I haven't told Steven because I want to surprise him with this research I did. So I did a little research of, the legends or what it's said that people hear, and in the milk barn, there's a spirit that likes to, whistle and to mess around with people. He's more like a jokester type of spirit. And he goes around not just in the milk barn, but into the house and the premises, like on the premises. Um, and when I read this, about, that, and I saw in a video, heard it from a video of, if you don't know, Ghost Adventures, also the Boys channel, if you've seen, what they've said. Also, the people say that they hear whistling. I wanted to send them the video, but I don't know if they responded. I've been checking my emails and I haven't gotten any response from them. So hopefully they see my videos. But yes, in the video you do hear the whistling kind of like at the end, and it to know about this, when I was reading about it a few days ago, my skin was chicken skin, just like that night. It was chicken skin. I was getting pumped up with like, I wanted to like continue. I wanted to see what was going on in that house. But yes, guys, like that's one of my scary story times. That was one of them. Another one. Oh yes, it's gonna be plenty. Another one was when this was when we were okay. We This is when we were kids. When I was a kid. Yeah, we were like around kids. My family and I used to go to Monterrey a lot. It's in Mexico. We used to travel just to visit family members. We used to go hang out. Now, over there, I have my oldest brother used to lives in Monterrey, and he used to live in this house that has the outhouse separately, meaning the restroom was separate from the house, a few feet away outside. That's where they had what they call the washer and dryer, the restroom, and sometimes even the shower. So we had gone to visit them. All the cousins were there, all the tias. That one weekend that we had gone, everybody wanted to play loteria while the uncles were doing the cookout. Where's it? Here it is. So now what I'm gonna do, guys, that I forgot. So what I do now is, since I don't have concealer or things like that, I use my foundation to set my eyes with some people might call this old school, I don't care, but this is what I do. So yes, um, we were all there. Diaz cousins all wanted to play, loteria, Mexican card game, where you call out the characters. So for those of you who doesn't know what it is, it's a card game where you call out um, characters and you place a chip on the character. You do have it kind of like, let's see, what's up? Kind of like that. Okay, so for example, it is 54 cards. 54 cards, and you shuffle them, call out one of them, whatever pops out, and people who has them has to um, put a chip on it until they, you know, go across the card or diagonal, whichever way. So everybody wanted to play that. All the cousins, all the tias. So we all played. Little by little, some of them started losing their money because some of us were winning. So the ones that were losing the money ended up, quitting or not playing anymore, going to bed early. So we stopped playing around, we stopped playing like around 2, 3 something in the morning. All the aunts, older cousins went to sleep. The young cousins uh, we dared each other to stay up the whole night. See, we dared each other to stay up the whole night. So then, around 3 something, some of us, it was around eight cousins, right? So it was me, my 2 other girl cousins. Around 3 in the morning, we were on the kitchen, where they have the kitchen and the dining area separated from the living room. There was a wall separating a doorway type of style. Um, we were munching on chips and, giggling and laughing and whatnot. We wanted to go, some of us girls wanted to go to the restroom. We don't want to go alone because outside was hella dark. Where my brother lived was the main street, the road off that goes off to onto the house. It was the main street, the road, long stretch of road, and then he kind of lived in where basically they were just starting to build houses around that area, but it was ranch area. So his house was, if I'm not mistaken, fourth house, and the house was like that, the street, and then another street. The house was in the corner. You cross the street, and the house that was next to it, in the other corner, if I'm not mistaken, was vacant. So, um, we don't want to be out alone because in front of my brother's house, front of that road, um, there was a cemetery, and in that area, there was rumors going around that stuff would happen in that cemetery. You would see things and hear things, you know, in a cemetery. We didn't want to go alone, but I got the courage, and I'm like, okay, I'm going alone. I need to go. So I started walking to the back door. My cousins followed me because I told them, don't worry, if we hear things, you guys behind me run first. They nodded, giggling, nervous giggles. We walked out. So everybody walked behind us, behind me and my cousins. So one of us would go into the restroom, the other ones would stay outside keeping company. One would get out, wash their hands, the other one would go in, you know, girl cousin type of situation. The guy cousins were also there, but farther away, giving us space. And they were also talking. And we were, oh, we should start going to sleep. It's getting hella late. And some of us were like, oof, you know, you don't last long. What happened? You scared? The kind of childish trash talking. As we're walking in, we walk into the back door to the kitchen, and we see the TV light. You know how back then we used to have those TVs with the big bulky back thing. Um, we hear it at the lowest level, but it's you see the light from the kitchen, and we're like, somebody's awake. We go into the little hallway into the living room, and we see El Valiente, La Dama, y El Catrín sitting in the couch. I should not be saying this at night. But yes, we see these characters sitting in the couch. I don't know if you can notice, but we see that guy, El Valiente, the brave, the brave guy, the brave man, the lady, La Dama, which is her, and that guy sitting in the couch. We were kids. We all, the color, drained out of our bodies. It took us a second for us to let out a yell so that our aunt and my brother can come out of their rooms, wake up and come out of the rooms. And they were, what's going on? What's going on? And once we knew it, they were gone. We told them. They thought we were lying. One of my tias said, that's what happens when you don't sleep early. You get the, coming for a visit. And after that day, we swore that we would never play that game until late at night. It was scary. I'm like, no, never playing that game late at night like that. Things can be summoned. But yes, that was another one, another scary story. And this was, I was young, I was a child. Some of you might think, oh, imagination. I mean, to each their own, right? But I swear to God, we saw them there, sitting in the couch. It was the most, that's where I told myself, things exist. If you are skeptical, things exist. Honey shows. That's the second one, and the third one. Well, I have a lot more. The third one was when I was also a child. Like I said, me and my family used to visit family from across. Used to go across to visit them. And then this other instances, this other one, me and that cousin, we were so young, kids, not teenagers, more like kids about to be teenagers, preteens. I wanted to stay over her house, and we were gonna play, we were gonna do things, kids, girl things, right? The girls normally do. So that I use that color from my Kat Von D palette. That color, nothing too fancy, simple, you know. But yes, it's very simple, very So then my mom, I asked my mom, I asked my tia, they both of them said yes. Me and my cousin were so happy to have a slumber party. You know, I wasn't allowed to have slumber parties with friends, but I was allowed to have slumber parties with my cousins. So weird. Um, so I got my clothes ready. My clothes ready to head over to her house. My mom dropped me off at my aunt's house. We had lots of fun. We played with her. Back then, she had a puppy. She had a dog. We played with the dog. So that cousin has a sister, an older cousin. I have an older cousin. That's her sister. At the time, each one had their own room, right? Um, at the time, each one had their own room. And late at night, we you talk about things. You talk about scary things. My cheeks. You talk about scary things, just like we're doing now. And things happen. Like they said, if you talk about things, things happen. Right? So we were just telling each other scary stories, scary incidents that happened to us, and whatnot. Um, and my aunt would walk into the room, tell us to go to sleep already. So we ended up listening to her and we went to sleep. Because the next day we were gonna go to shopping. Well, my aunt uh, would take us to like what they call them over there, the malls, but Spanish, the centros comerciales, and we fell asleep at around 3 something in the morning. I got woken up by my cousin nudging me, to wake up. And before I tell you what happened next, I want to tell you how her room was for context clues, okay? So you can have an idea of what was going on. So, how can I explain? So her door was, yes, I'll explain it to you. So let's say that this is the floor plan of her room, right? The floor plan of her room. So the door was right here, right? You walk in like that, right here. Right here was her vanity. Over here is the window. Her bed was like that. Her closet was right here. Was this area, right? So you would walk in. The bed was right here, kind of in the middle, facing the doorway, and she had the vanity here. Well, back then, it was safe. Never put, where is it? Never put a mirror facing your bed. Never, because mirrors are portals. Mirrors are portals, right? Okay, to make it more a bit darker, look like I have, you know, I mixed. I put this one in my on the outside of my lids. This color. And we have this palette is this color. Okay. So, um, she wakes me up, nudging me to wake up, right? She's like, I open my eyes and I see her, and she looks scared to death. Scared, petrified, scared. I I sit up. I look at her. I'm like, what is going on? Why are you waking me up at this time? And she's like, why is my sister in my vanity combing her hair? Combing her hair. And I face forward where her vanity is. And I see a woman. We both see a woman combing her long hair, doing this motion with her long black hair. Yet, since the room was kind of dark, we couldn't see her face. So my cousin starts calling out to her, go to your room. I think you're sleepwalking. Hey, you know, go to your room. Go to your room. And she even starts calling my aunt. Mom, Mom, hey, can you call her? She's in the room. She's in our room. She's in my room, Mom. And then we get panic. I see her start panicking. And that's where I noticed I saw this spirit combing her hair, and she does this, faces a mirror, and I see she has pale white face and no eyes. No freaking eyes. Dark. It's just dark black holes. We both yell at the same time. My aunt wakes up. My cousin wakes up. They all come running. And after that, I was not allowed to stay over at her house anymore. They wouldn't let me stay over at her house. So if you notice, I'm putting the white colored one, this one, in my lid. Not in all of it, in the inner part of my lids. So yes. Another scary incident that happened to. It's funny, why does it everything happen when you are across? Well, scary place, right? But spooky place. What I'm trying to say is, well, back then when I was younger, when me and my cousins were younger, that we used to go across a lot to visit family members. I have a family member that lives in Monterrey as well. Not my brother though, a cousin that lives in Monterrey. Shout out to my Monterrey people, to my cousins out there, my regios. Um, so my cousin had this beautiful um, two-story house, or what they call over there quintas. Uh, Very pretty, uh, very pretty house. Not gonna lie, and we would stay a week over there. At one time, we stayed a week over there. So me and the cousins. Now I laugh, but at the time it was, what were we doing? Me and the cousins wanted munchies, wanted, chips, um, wanted candy, and they would give us money. So the quintas, some of the quintas closer, are close to the over there. Monterrey, if you are not from over there, they have these. Well, there's mountains, and one of the mountains' name is El Cerro de la Silla. Now, some of these houses are literally right at the edge of the mountain, at the bottom edge. So it's the house, the land, and then it's the mountain, right? Um, well, in one of those instances, one of those times, they gave us money. The house was right here, and over there, every other corner has a little convenience store. A little kind of like, yeah, a little convenience store where you could go get munchies, drinks, um, tortillas, little, little areas like that, right? I'm on my, I, as an eyeliner, I am applying the L'Oreal Palace Infallible Grip. This one. Sorry guys, I have dyslexia. Okay, I can't say the name of it. Infallible, infallible, the 36 hour. So yes, it's this one, the one that you turn. Yeah, it's the color black. So anyways, they gave us money. We went down to the little convenience store and got candies, got chips, and some of those days they were like, "Oh, add it to, just say that you want to add it to, this account," and they allow it. They know. I guess my cousin would go get stuff there a lot. Anyways, uh, we went, got got munchies, and we went back, right. Kept doing that throughout the week. One of those times I wanted munchies. Nobody wanted to go with me. I thought it was okay for me to go alone. I knew where it was. I knew where my cousin's house was. I was a child. I wasn't thinking. I should have. That. Sorry, mom and dad, if you're listening to this now. But this scared me not to do it anymore. Um, it was at night. Everybody was partying. I wanted munchies. Nobody would go with me. I went by myself. I got money. I had money saved up for Mexican money, the pesos. And I go, right, walking down the road, walking in the sidewalk. I get there. The person greets me. I get the munchies. I pay. We put them in the bag. So like I was saying, I was walking back to the quinta, back to my cousin's quinta. And I feel somebody following me off at the distance. And I turn and I see this lady in white just walking. Couldn't see her face. And she was just walking. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't think anything of it. I was a child. I didn't think anything of it. So before I put on the 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 foundation, oh my gosh, I am gonna put this primer. Okay, look at this primer. It is so nice. It feels so nice on the skin. Very, very refreshing. This is not advertising it. I'm just telling you how it feels. It feels so nice on the skin. So, anyways, Um, I kept walking, but I felt off. I felt so off. I kept walking faster. And she kept following me. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm about to be kidnapped at night, right? Nobody's gonna know anything of me. I'm about to be kidnapped. When I turned again to see her, she lifted up her face. Her eyes were dark, and she tilted her head, but it was so weird, so weird. And I was a few feet away from the door of my cousin's quinta, the entrance of my cousin's quinta. And I thought since he was a few feet away, I squinted my eyes to see her perfectly because I was like, what is she doing? I noticed that her dress was dirty, weird looking, uh, like dirty, like dirty. And I'm looking down, and my point of view, my point of view, like how you're seeing straight, you're panning down, and that's when I realized she wasn't walking. She was floating, floating about what, a foot and a half off the ground. No feet at all. I turned around quick. I did the the leg turn and ran towards the door, the entrance of the quinta. I opened it, and it's hard to open those gate doors. They're heavy. I opened it, and I remember um so back then, um they my cousin had hired help for the party, right? Like, what do they call it? Planners and stuff like that. So the one of the assistants is there. I noticed, and he's like, "What are you doing? What's going on?" I told him, "Lady," I start panting and stuff, and the young guy walks out. He's like, "Well, lady, I don't see anyone." Like, she was right there, and he was just a few. He There wasn't any other way that she could have, run back. You would have heard the, running back at night, because those streets are, one car goes, and you have to squeeze into the parking area to let the other car go. They're small uh, road lengths, and you would hear the running. And it's a long way up there to get to from convenience store to where the house was. It was a long way up. And the guy was like, I don't know what you talking about. I don't see anyone. That night, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't. I didn't sleep that night. I was scared. I was scared, that Evie was gonna come back. Thank God she didn't. Okay, guys, now I'm gonna put the foundation. Hopefully it covers the unwanted friend. So yeah. It was so scary. Like those times. Scary but freaky. If any of you guys have scary incidents like that you wanna want me to read, wanna send them to me, any scary, that has happened to you, you can send them out. Send them out. I'll read them. We can have a little podcast moment. And I'll even do them in Spanish. Ahora para los que no me entendieron en inglés, los voy a decir en español. So, super funny, right? So, hace mucho que fuimos a la hacienda de aquí de San Antonio que se llama Black Sonnet. Hicimos el tour, el ghost tour, que le dicen con los guías y otros invitados, ¿verdad? Si han visto el video, si ya lo han visto, les voy a platicar de eso. So, en ese video, casi al último, se oye un chiflido, como que chiflan. Nosotros, cuando lo oímos, porque lo oímos cuando lo oímos ahí con nuestros propios oídos, pensamos que eran los guías dejándonos saber que el tiempo del tour se estaba por terminar, que ya nos hiciéramos, que fuéramos al frente en la casa para salir. Solo fuimos al frente de la casa, hicimos, como se dice, terminamos el video, el intro del video, y cuando lo hicimos, ya que terminamos el video, le dijimos le dijimos adiós a los guías y nos fuimos. Después, días después, cuando estábamos viendo el video, vimos que lo captamos, el chiflido. Y captamos el chiflido, todavía no acabo. Y nos quedamos asombrados porque nosotros pensamos que no se iba a captar. So, le pregunté, mandé un email a los guías preguntándoles, I have this blush. It's called Hopeful Berry from Professional Profusion Cosmetics. I love this brand. Awesome. Pero le preguntamos, le mandamos el email y le preguntamos que si al terminar, casi al terminar de a cierta hora, chiflaron ellos o los últimos invitados que estaban con ellos, porque eran dos invitados que estaban con ellos y nosotros, fue lo que vimos. Los demás estaban ya afuera y dijeron no, me regresaron un mensaje diciéndome, no es tan rojo o tan rosa, es calmadito. Y lo hago para que todavía, si notan, se me crea el río. So, sí, les preguntamos a ellos y nos dijeron que no, que ellos no habían chiflado, que ninguno de los invitados chifló. So, lo dejamos ahí. Hace unos días me puse a investigar en el teléfono de de las cosas que pasan, lo que la gente cuenta y de esa hacienda embrujada. Y me entero, me entero que varias gentes escuchan chiflido que no viene de nadie. Y en el, cuando me puse a investigar es en el internet. Varias personas dicen que escuchan chiflido, que alguien chifla, que alguien como que chiflando. So, es todo lo que hago. That's all I have. The face. Nothing too much. Nothing. I have the other connect that I'm missing. The friend. Y pues sí, entero que no, nadie de los invitados chupó. Y se me puso la piel de chinita. Cuando me dicen eso y que leo eso, se me puso la piel chinita. Y no le he dicho a Esteban porque le quiero decir frente a frente y quiero ver su reacción. La quiero captar. Pero ahorita Esteban, Don Esteban, está aquí. Y yo estoy con mis suegros porque mañana tengo que ir a una parte. Y Esteban, pues, como es en la mañana, Esteban tiene que trabajar. Ajá, mira. La diferencia. So yeah. When he comes tomorrow, I'll get his reaction, guys. But yes, if you do see the video at the end, kind of at the end, you do hear a phantom whistle. I didn't whistle. Steven didn't whistle. No one whistled. Get this. Close the eye. And just not too, too much. Not too like crazy. With the eyelashes. You just want to do not hard, but gentle taps. Gentle taps. You don't want to break your lashes. See? Gentle taps. As yes, you can break your lashes. See? There we go. Um, another el otro. There we go. That's all. My makeup. Normally, you can do lots of colors with this. Um, lots of, depending on what you want to have on. I sometimes just, outline them. I sometimes outline them make it look natural. It depends on what colors you want. But if you have light eyeshadow, light lipstick, dark eyeshadow, dark lipstick. And I have another technique for the eyebrows. If you have an angled brush, what you could do is, trick that I saw is from where your eyebrow starts to the nose, put it there and mark it, and then the nose to where the arch of the eyebrow is, and mark it, and then right here you mark it, and that's where. And the same thing for this side. Mark it, and then mark it. And that's how you can film it. But I like to do it normally. Don't know why. Now a bit of setting spray. I have this from Halloween. I shake it. So it sets. But this is the look, guys. It's simple, very calming. And about the cream. This cream is a cream I got from, like I said, Sephora. It's you can use it for your face and your hands. It's moisturizing like so nice. And what I do for everyone out there, and I was saying everyone because it's for men too. I am barely 30 and I look young. Barely any wrinkles, and that's because before I go to sleep, I wash my face and the cream. I massage my face with the cream, putting it on, massaging it. But yes, your cream, doing it at night, moisturizing it, collagen, it helps. So there we have it, guys, the finished look. What do you think? What do you think? If you can, do this makeup, simple makeup look, send me pictures so I can post them up. That's it for tonight, guys. Hope you have a good night. Sleep well. And like always, stay spooky.